Good morning, everybody. It's Sarah, and it's time for Coffee and Crochet with Sarah. Well, good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's having a fabulous week. I got up this morning thinking, wow, it's been a really long week, and it's only Tuesday morning. This time of year, we are hustling and bustling, trying to get as much crochet done as possible, and shopping and baking. And I just felt a little overwhelmed this morning. And so I just said, you know what? I'm going to relax for a couple minutes, have me a nice cup of mocha peppermint coffee, and I felt a lot better. Well, good morning, Dawn and Heather and Tammy, Stacy, Melissa, Olivia, Marlene, Stacy. Oh, I said hi to Stacy twice. And Dawn, I'm so glad you're all here today. And I see a bunch more of you popping in. There's a Dana and another Dawn. And I'm so glad you're here. We have so much fun stuff. There's Angela also. And we have a lot of fun stuff to do today. And we're kind of going to do things in reverse. Usually I talk about something and then I show you the new stuff. Well, I'm going to show you the new patterns first. And then I'm going to go right into our crochet along. And I'm very excited about our crochet along. And I hope you will be too. So, first order of business is let's all clink in. Clink. Isn't this the cutest little mug? I have to confess, I bought this at the Dollar Tree about 3 years ago, and it was filled with some really nasty candy, but I really liked the mug, so I bought it. I know, I'm silly when it comes to coffee cups. Alrighty, so let's see if anybody else clinked in. There's Jane and Lisa and Vicky and Ari and Carol and Tina. Let's see, Rita and Jane. All right, so like I said, we're going to talk about what's new this week first, and then we're going to get into our crochet along. If you want to be prepared for the crochet along, you're going to need your H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook, and just some leftover worsted weight, medium weight, number 4 yarn. Acrylic, cotton, blend, wool, it doesn't matter with what we're doing today. All right, and you'll need a needle and your scissors. So if you want to gather those up while I'm talking, it's okay with me. That way you're ready. All right, the first thing I want to tell you about is my headband. Now, we did this headband last year. It's just a basic headband with the Christmas lights on it, and it's already on YouTube. There is a free pattern as well, and you can just search in YouTube, and I'll put a link up there so you can find it as well. Let me get a sip of coffee. Okay, it's super easy, but I know someone would ask me about it, and it's one of my favorite headbands, and so I thought I would tell you about that first. The second thing is, what do you think about my earrings? Can you see that they're, I saw a little glitch. Can you still see me? Okay. There was a little glitch. My computer internet today has been a little glitchy, so I hope we can stay clinked in. TJ said that this is his first time catching me live. Well, hello, TJ, and welcome. Anywho, my little earrings are little Christmas ornaments that I added to just a little hook with a little stone on it. And what I did is I bought these cheap little miniature lights, and I took the string off and just added it. So if you need a little flair, or you're going to one of those ugly sweater parties, that would be a great addition. I wear them a couple times a year just for fun. So I thought I'd tell you about those two, because every time I wear them, I get asked about them. All right, what's new this week at Posh Pooch Designs for brand new patterns and videos? Well, yesterday we updated our miniature elf pattern. We added a pom-pom, and then I also showed you how to make it into a miniature Santa hat. And these are super cute. And just a secret, they fit the average size elf on the shelf, just so you know. They're super cute, super easy to make. They make great ornaments, and you can fill them with candy, or you can set them up among your Christmas decorations. So they're lots of fun to make. And if you want to make it an elf hat or a Santa hat, I show you both of those on the video, how to do it. It's really quite simple. So that's one thing that we did yesterday. Another thing we did this week is our Snowman Washcloth. And this is the original one that I made. Isn't he cute? And then I made this super silly one. The pom-pom on the top is in a different place. You have a ring you can hang it up with. And then on the video, I just tried to make a normal one. And I think they're cute. I give them a quirky little smile. Super easy, and they make great hot pads. Just remember, if you're going to make these and put anything hot out of the oven or off the stove on them, use cotton yarn or wool yarn. Do not use acrylic yarns if you're going to pull something straight out of the oven or off the stove. Make sure you use yarns that are not going to burn. Acrylic yarns will burn. And so you need to make sure, unless you're going to use it for decoration. I like to hang them around just for fun. Use them in my decorating and stuff at Christmas. And then when people come over, I say, don't use those. Use the old ones. I don't want these getting dirty. I want them to last forever. So anyway, that is one we did yesterday. And the other pattern that we did, I'm going to click over to my other camera. Here's my roaming camera. This is the Random Christmas Scarf and Cowl. Now I call it random because you can see we used a lot of different colors of yarn. And what you can do with this, you can also see there's even some eyelash yarn there in the center in the red. And what happens with this is you use 2 strands of yarn if you're using an acrylic medium number 4. If you're using a chunky number 5 or number 6, you just use 1 strand. When you're using an eyelash yarn, you use 1 strand of the medium 4 and 1 strand of the eyelash. And it makes a super cool scarf. One thing to keep in mind, you can mix up your yarns, but keep in mind you're not going to be able to put it in the wash machine. I made this one here, I think 2 years ago, or maybe 3. And then we updated the pattern is what we did and put it out there on YouTube so people could make it. You don't have to make it in Christmas colors, of course. You could make it in blue and white. It would be really pretty. All different shades of blue and white. Or you can use just whatever yarns that you have in your yarn stash that are leftovers. Or you can buy yarn specifically for this cowl scarf. What I do with mine, because I want to mix it all up, when I take my husband's suits to the cleaners, I just grab that right before Christmas so that it gets a good cleaning at the cleaners, dry cleaners. And then I've got it for the season. I have been known to lose a scarf, and so I like to make them circle scarves. You can leave it straight or you can connect it. It doesn't matter. It works both ways. You can make it short or long. And then I also, in the written pattern, explain how you can make it wider and longer as well. All right, so it's just a super fun pattern, very versatile. Use any yarns that you want and just play with it and have fun. I like those kind because you get to use your creative juices. All right, so that's the 3 things that we did this week. All right, are you ready to get into our crochet along? I'm excited. All right, I'm going to click over to the top cam here so you can see what we've got going on here. And what we're going to do today is we're going to make some ribbon candy. And this is a box of ribbon candy that I ordered. I was not very happy when it got here because all the candy inside was broken. And so I ended up going, we have a company here in Denver called Hammond's Candy. And my husband and I went over there and decided to go ahead and get some there. Because I like to give them as gifts because they're really nostalgic. And I wanted to put a little tag or hanger on the gift bag. I'm terrible about wrapping. I love using gift bags. And so I thought it would be fun to make some ribbon candy. And then they have an ornament after the candy's been eaten. And you can see we've got green and yellow, red and green, red and white, and green and white. They're super easy to make. I'm going to toss those out of the way. I'm going to use this green and yellow. I've got my H hook ready, my scissors, and my needle. And it's really super easy. And you can also adjust it if you want your ribbon candy to be longer. All right. So I'm going to start with my yellow. Put those in my yarn bowl there. All right. So what we're going to do is begin with our slip knot. And again, you can use any yarns that you want to. You can even make these out of chunky yarns and make them bigger. I'm using these two colors here are from I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's just yarn I had on hand, and it's a medium number 4 acrylic. All right, we're going to chain 31 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I want to remind you that when you're doing your beginning chain, remember to do it just a little bit loose or it'll pucker on one side when we go to make our ribbon. All right. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. Now, this is going to make about a 2 by 2 inch piece of ribbon candy. If you want to make it longer, have more folds, you need to add 5 chains per fold. All right? So now we have 31 chains. I'm going to grab my color 2, which is my green, and I'm going to bring that in. And we're going to leave the yellow one still attached. So we'll move those out of the way. We're going to begin by stitching a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Bring my hands down a little bit. Don't count the loop here, and we don't count this loop. Here's the first, here's the second. This is where we joined, and that's why we don't count that. And we don't count the loop that's on our hook. So there's our first chain, and we'll go in our second chain. Go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through both loops. Now your first loop might be a little bit loose, so we're just going to snug that down. But don't worry, we'll come back in and get everything weaved in when we're done. All right, so now what we're going to do is just place 1 single crochet using our color 2 in each of the chains across. And I know this might take a little bit of time, but I decided that we were going to do it all together. And it really won't take much time. These are super fun to make. And as you can see, I'm stitching 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets across. And when you get to the end, you need to have 30 single crochets. We chained 31 and we joined, and then we began in the second chain from the hook, stitching 1 single crochet in each of the chains across. And again, if you want your ribbon candy to be longer, add chains in 5 chain increments. All right, I'm almost to the end. I'm trying not to take too long. And if I'm going too fast, remember this, once I get it on YouTube, you can slow it down and you can even pause it as needed. And you don't have to do it right now. You can always make it later. Alrighty, I'm to my last chain. And I'm going to chain 1 and make a nice big loop, because we're going to go back where we started. We're going to go in that first single crochet and pull up a yellow loop and chain 1, or color 1 loop, I should say, because of course you can make these in all different colors. Let's get those out of the way a little bit. And so we're going to go right back in that first single crochet and stitch a single crochet, and then we'll stitch 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets across. And again, you're going to need to have 30 single crochets. Now, if you're worried about this loop on the end here that we're going to come back to coming undone, you can always put your stitch marker in there. I'm going to put it together. You can put a safety pin or a paper clip or just something to hold it if you're worried about the loop coming out. I just make a great big loop and it usually doesn't come out. I'm not going to say always because I have had them come out, so anywho. All right, so I'm working across, stitching one single crochet and each of the single crochets across. And you can already see that it's a stripe. And see, it has the look of that ribbon candy. All righty, almost there. One single crochet in each single crochet across, and you'll have 30 single crochets. All right, I'm in that last single crochet. Get that stitch marker out of the way first. There we go. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take that green loop, bring it back down so that it's not too big, and go pull it right through that yellow, chain one, and turn. All right, we're going to still leave our yellow or our color one attached. We're going to turn and put a single crochet in the first single crochet, and then single crochet back across, stitching one single crochet in each single crochet. I think this would be a great project to take along with you on a trip. If you're going on a plane or riding in a car, you could take a bunch of your scrap yarns and make a whole bunch of these as you go. Now I chose to only do these in 2 colors. You can do 3, 4, or 5 colors if you want to. Ribbon candy comes in all different colors and flavors, and I think my favorite flavor is the clove. I do not care for licorice, just a preference. All right, so I'm almost over here to this end with my color 2. And this might look kind of fun if you did all Christmas colors like red, green, and white maybe, or even added red, green, and yellow. All right, so now I'm at my last single crochet on this row, and I'm going to cut my yarn and tie the green one off. Now we're going to go back over here where we ended with the yellow. We're going to go in that last single crochet, pull up a loop, and chain 1. And now we're just going to stitch one single crochet in each of, whoops, I went in the second one, didn't I? There we go. Got to go on that first one. There we go. Your chain 1 does not ever count as a stitch. It's just a turning chain. Just an extra little chain to get you where you need to be. All right, so I'm almost done. I'm on my last row. And again, one single crochet in each single crochet across. I'm trying to go fast, and like I said, if I'm going too fast, this will be over on YouTube, and on YouTube you can slow it down and pause it as needed. And of course you can pause it on Facebook as well. All right, almost to the end of this row, and then we'll be done with the body portion of our candy ribbon. Alrighty, one more single crochet, and we'll cut our yarn and tie off. Now there's the body portion of our candy ribbon, and you can see mine's curling just a little. I needed to loosen up my chain just a little bit. And we're going to take our needle and we're going to put each of these threads on and weave those in. And I just try to go one way, go up, and go back the other. All right, there's one. And I'll get these other 4 real quick so we don't take up too much time. When I do something that has several colors in it, I do try when I'm weaving it in to stay within those colors. Because if you're doing something, say, in red and yellow, or that it's really going to show up, you don't want red on your yellow or yellow on your red. But I'm kind of going quick here so we don't take up too much of our time. There we go. We'll go back up, and I got one more to go. So it probably takes longer to weave in all the ends than it does to crochet the whole ribbon. It really doesn't, but sometimes it seems like it. Lots of people hate doing their weave ends, but I don't really mind. It's just part of the craft. All right, there's the last one, and I know I did those really quick. I probably should have gone back and forth a little bit more. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this so that it has 5 folds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you wanted to make it longer, you would have, for every 5 chains that you joined, you'd have an extra fold. Okay, so I just sort of eyeball it at first and fold it. See how it looks. If it's not even, I'll move it just a little. See, the center's not quite even, so I'm going to move that out a little. All right, so I kind of like how that's looking, so I'm going to set that down. And then I'm going to grab another piece of yarn. I'm going to cut off about 18 inches. I always cut off more than I need. I'd rather have too much than not enough. All right, so I'm just going to thread this onto my needle. And you need to decide which side you want to be the top and which side you want to be the bottom. I'm kind of out of kilter here. There we go. Trying to get it back lined up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go right through that center row, about a third over from the side. And you're going to leave a tail here. And then we're going to come back down in the top. And pull that. Now, we're not going to pull this loop down. We want this to be up. We're going to make a knot in the top of this like this, because this is our hanger. All right, now you want to snug that knot down. But when we tie the knot in the bottom, you don't want it to be too tight because you want to loosen your ribbon just a little. And so I do another one of those. I don't know what that knot's called, but I use it all the time, and I love the knot. It works great. All right, so you can see I've got a little bit of space between here and here, and that's what you want. And then I usually do another knot like this, just to make sure it's going to stay put. Now, you can add beads or ornaments or whatever you want to on the bottom of this if you want. I don't. I just trim that off. And then I sort of fold out, not fold out, but pull out that ribbon candy. And now I have a ribbon candy that I can add to a gift bag. I can use it on my Christmas tree or whatever I want to use that for. So just let me pull these back out so you can get a good look at these, and then we'll go back to the other camera. And see, you can make them in all different colors. You can use as many colors as you want to. There's 5 rows, so you could use 5 different colors if you want to. All right, so that's our ribbon candy. And I love ribbon candy because I think it's so nostalgic. And we had it all the time when we were kids, and y'all know I'm very, very old. And my mom's passed, and my oldest sister's passed, and it's just kind of a nostalgic thing. We always had the hard candies with the fillings and the ribbon candy. So every year I try to get them because I want to share them with my family and my kids and my grandkids, you know, and just a little bit of nostalgia is all. So that's our crochet together. I hope you all enjoyed it. And it'll always be here on Facebook. It'll always be on YouTube. You can always go back and learn how to make a super simple ribbon candy and make a bunch of them. I just love them, and they're fun because, you know, I like fun. All right. Well, the last thing I want to remind you of before we go is our giveaway. So here's our giveaway. We've got 2 of these Christmas rolls called Peppermint. They're from Hirschner's. They're the pastry puff. And then you're also going to get this stitch counter by Susan Bates. Now, if you haven't, or if you've never done with our giveaways, if you've never been a part of it, the way that it works is the first Tuesday in December, I tell you what the giveaway is. And we talked about it last week. And then you have 2 weeks to comment on that video on YouTube or the Facebook video last week. And then we put all the names in, the random generator, and then whoever's name comes up is our winner. Now, if you've already won this year, we'll probably choose a different winner because we want to make it, as fair as possible. So next Tuesday, I'll be giving out the name of our Christmas giveaway winner. So be sure and come in and pop in next week. And then the last thing is, have you been following my Posh Pete? Oh, he's on this side. Antics. If you want to see what Posh Pete is up to for the month of December, you can find that on my Instagram. You can also find it on my Facebook, in my Facebook stories. And I also made a photo album because someone said, I can't find them. So if you go to Posh Pooch Designs Facebook page, and just click in the photos, you'll see an album that has, I think it just says Posh Pooch's, or Posh Pete's Christmas Antics. And it's been a lot of fun. We're going to continue this through the month of December. And we have lots of really, really fun ideas. And I hope you'll realize that Posh Pete is not just an ornery elf, but he's also a sweet elf. Now, if you want to make one for yourself, that pattern is also on YouTube. And it's also on my blog and on Ravelry. Just put in Posh Pete, the Christmas elf, and you'll find it. Well, I just want to thank everyone for being here today. And I hope you'll have a bunch of fun this week, getting ready for the holidays. Don't stress yourself out. Take a few minutes like I did this morning to have a hot cup of coffee or cocoa or wine or whatever you drink to settle yourself down, and spend a few minutes of me time, because the holidays are hectic. They really are. And you don't want to be stressed out. And crochet stress is the worst. All right, everybody. Well, I'll let you go. And if you make some of these ribbon candies, crochet pattern, be sure and post it, as I want to see your pictures. Post it on our page or in the group PPD Puppy Love Crochet. You can post it there. I love to see the things that you make and your creativity when you make them. All right. So again, the last thing I have to say is thank you. Thank you for being a part of all of this silliness, because I can't be silly and I can't do what I love without all of you. Have a great week, everybody.